Happy 2019, Posten here, and I am really excited to do my first live for 2019 and also to talk to you about podcasting and specifically a problem that I hear time and time again from podcasters who start their podcast and then end up stuck. And that problem that they're having is that when they launch their podcasts, they have no idea how to reach new listeners. Now, if you're at the point when your podcast is launched, but you have no idea who your listeners are, you've already started way too late. You're way too down the line. You need to back up and think this through. And podcasts that usually start out this way, they usually limp along until they figure that part out or until they give up. So the part that I want you guys to avoid, and every launch plan needs, is to start with identifying who your perfect listener is. Now, your perfect listener, your target listener, the perfect person who will be tuning into your podcast, that is somebody who will make you giddy with excitement every time they listen to your podcast. You want them to be in your inbox talking about how much they love you. You want them to be on your Instagram, sending you DMs talking about how much they love your podcast, sharing with everybody. And so building your profile and your podcast around your perfect listener is absolutely essential, right? So I'm going to be talking today about how to do that, right? So again, your perfect listener will be the person who you're more than happy to serve, who will share your show with passion, and most importantly, will be excited to buy everything that you sell. My name is Posten, if you don't know who I am, and I'm a podcast consultant, and I work with private clients who are experts, coaches, and consultants to launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts. So I'm talking specifically if you are a business owner and you want to launch, if that sounds like you, and you're interested in learning more about working with me and how to launch your podcast, then I want you to type in the comments below the word launch, and I'll reach out to you and give you more information on what it would be like for us to work together. So when I was putting together this system, I can't take credit for everything. When I was putting together the system, I was really working with a lot of great marketers to come together with this idea for identifying who your perfect listener is. People like Frank Kern, people like Ramit Sethi, people like Michael Port, really good market experts at what they do. They've had different systems that I've used and merged together this program, this system, and to walk you guys through right now. And it's been working like a guiding light with all of my private clients, and I can guarantee you that it will work for you as well. So I hope you are ready to go. You're seated, you have your pen and paper together, and we're gonna get started. Before we get started, I want you to know this one thing. Your podcast does not have to be narrow, but you need to think very narrowly about who your audience is. Don't think that you're going to be serving everybody, because that way you end up serving nobody. You're going to be focusing very specifically on an ideal type of person. And this type of person is somebody who has specific stats about them, and they're the ones who are going to share everything that you put out. They're going to love everything that you want. They're going to be happy to hear from them and only them. Now let's just back up here. You are a business owner, so I know you've worked with a different range of business of a different range of clients, right? Some people you're going to be happy to work with. They're going to make it bright and sunny every time you hear from them. Pick up the phone, talk to them. And there's some people who are going to make your life a living hell. The objective here for your podcast and for your business at large is to only work with the people who you are happy to work with. And you're not going to work with the people who you're not happy to work with at all. They're going to find an exit sign and go somewhere else. Right? So let's work out the system right now. So how the system works, I want you to grab yourself a piece of paper right now. Grab yourself a piece of paper and make a one line down the middle of that piece of paper, right? Piece of paper, one line down the middle. Now I want you to then split the paper up, or split the sections up into 6 sections. So you're going to draw 2 horizontal lines. So you have 6 equal sections on that piece of paper. When you have that, this is what we're going to do. Now in the first section, in the top left section, you're going to write your demographics. What are the demographics of your perfect listener? Now, if you want some advice or some insider advice on how to do this, here's what I want you to do. I want you to check back, or like take 10 minutes, talk to your past clients, your past best clients, and ask them their demographics also, because you're going to use that to build a profile, or we're going to build a profile on your perfect listener. And everything that you're building for your podcast relies on this foundation, right? So the first section, your top left section, will be your demographics. The second section, the top right section, will be where these people hang out the most. What are their watering holes, right? Where do they hang out the most? Where can you find them? That would be what are their favorite podcasts? Where do they like hang out in real life? Like where what bars do they go to? If that information is available to you, right? What websites do they frequent? What magazines do they subscribe to? You're gonna want to know all the areas where they are, so that when you're ready to start targeting them, you know exactly where to go, and only there will you find these people. So be very specific as you can. And this is an exercise where you work through in depth in the program that I'm offering. So if it is that you want to get that top love, you want to really get really deep and really clear on your perfect listener is, and then go through the process of building the entire podcast, leave a comment down below that says launch, and I'll reach out to you and give you more information. Anyways, so we're in the middle now. So first top left section, demographics. Top right section, where do they hang out? Middle left section will be the characteristics. What are the characteristics of this person? Is this person a business owner? Yes. Tell me about that person. Do they have a business of a certain size? Are they making a certain amount of money? Like, what are the characteristics of this person? Then you're gonna go in the middle right, and talk about what are their personality traits. Personality traits meaning what traits do these people have to have so that you are happy, more than happy, to work with them. In Frank Kern says, if you had to get paid after you did business with a person, what qualities would this person have to have, right? So be very clear with that. Like, does the person have to have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? Does this person have to believe in scarcity or abundance? What does the person have to believe? What are their values? What are their personality traits? That goes in the middle right section. Last two now. In the bottom left section, they're going to put in their fears, problems, and pains. So, like, what keeps them up at night? What are the problems that only you can solve? What are the problems that they have that you can address with your content, with your podcast, to really transform everything into, sunshine, rainbows for them, right? What are those problems? Write that down in the fifth section, the bottom left section. And finally, in the bottom right section, I want you to write down where their hopes, dreams, and aspirations are. Right? This is very crucial. So you want to know on the bottom left, what are they running away from? And on the bottom right, what are they running to? Right? Now, let's just recap everything now. The first left will be your demographics. The top left, demographics. Top right will be where they hang out, what are their watering holes. The middle left will be their characteristics. The middle right will be their personality traits. The bottom left will be their fears, problems, and pains. And the bottom right will be their hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Once you have all that on a piece of paper, you are golden. You're ready now. You have your foundation to go up there and build your podcast on top of that. And I can guarantee you that when your podcast has been launched, you will have a podcast that's really honed in, that's guaranteed to pull in only the people who you want to work with, only people who you're happy to serve. And when they become customers, you will have a much easier time in doing business with them. Now, who do you think would be a better podcaster? Or who do you think has a better chance of reaching their audience and selling their stuff? Would it be you or somebody who didn't do this exercise? I can guarantee you my bet would be 100% on you. All that we covered right now, and getting even deeper and more clear on your perfect listener, is what we cover in week 1. This is one of the things we cover in week 1 of my idea to launch podcast program. And if you're thinking about starting your podcast and you're really serious about getting started, then you might want to check this out. This might be a good fit for you. Also, there's a catch here. You have to be an expert, a coach, or a consultant, and you already have to have a business that you're selling high-value programs, and you want to scale even more. So if that's you, leave a comment down below that says launch, and I'll reach out to you with more information. And that's everything. So you now have a framework to go and create your perfect listener. I hope you gain out of this training and this live. And as always, talk soon.